Let's kick off our best of the business, best in the business
Hmm.
section. Then we're going to keep this going through inside the huddle, and we'll start with quarterbacks, given that this has been a quarterback-heavy section, and we're going to look at our top five. So let's have a look at our top fives, and then we'll break them down and see where we agree and disagree. So we both have Patrick Mahomes at number one. My list has a very new age feel to it. Lamar Jackson at two, Russell Wilson, very mobile quarterback at three. Aaron Rodgers there, of course, the elder statesman at four, and then Deshaun Watson at five. Jeff goes with Mahomes. Then he's got Rodgers at two, Wilson at three, Drew Brees at four, Lamar Jackson at five. So, Jeff, we agree at the top, but I just want to know why you've got, first of all, why you've got Lamar down at number five. What do you see with Lamar Jackson?
Well, I think Lamar is headed in the right direction. He's on the upward trajectory, no question about it. I thought his ability to throw the football. I mean, he made a quantum leap between years one and two. But
Mm.
I still think, Neil, when you get him in a game where he may have to, and it happens every year, and it happened in the playoffs. You get him in a game where all of a sudden now he's got to be able to get in the pocket and he's got to win from the pocket with his arm, 2 minute drill, those types of things. That's where he still has, yards to go. And I think he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback in the league. He's an unbelievable talent. I think he's a great kid. He's got charisma. He's a leader. He's got all the things you look for. I just think that he's in his developmental curve. And we're talking about right now. We're not talking about the future. We're talking about right now to win a game. I still think there's a liability in his game in terms of being able to win in those types of situations.
Yeah, I think Kurt Warner told us on Inside the Huddle at the Super Bowl, you still have to win from the pocket at times. Most of, or
Right.
every one of the guys I've got, Jeff, is a mobile quarterback, and I guess we're seeing more and more of that. I know you've got Drew Brees on your list, who isn't that, but everyone else on your list, everyone on my list, is a mobile quarterback. That is a factor now, isn't it, when looking at the position?
Oh, there's no question. And it was really hard for me to leave Deshaun Watson off, because where do you put him? I mean, he's certainly as good as, any of that bunch and belong other than Mahomes and belongs in that list somewhere. However, when to me, I kept Breeze and Rodgers around because you look at what they were able to do. Really, in New Orleans, he's got Michael Thomas and really didn't have very much else, and he's throwing for a billion yards. And then you saw Rodgers almost single-handedly. He and Devontae Adams take that. They're on the brink of going to the Super Bowl.
Mm.
So I think that's to me when you measure a quarterback do they have the ability to elevate the players around them? And I think Breeze and Rodgers still have those abilities. I think they can win from the pocket. Both of them's accuracy, Neil. I mean, you watch some of the throws they make, and you
Mm.
shake your head and say, "How in the world do you even attempt to get that ball in there? Much less get that ball in there." Now, I think you look at Russell Wilson, and I think Russell Wilson to me is really, really underrated. First, he plays in Seattle in an offense that doesn't really feature his skills. He's played behind a horrendous offensive line his whole career. He's not had great receivers outside. And the guy just elevates, again, that's that factor again. He elevates everybody around him. So obviously that's a great bunch. And I agree with you that the thing that's most exciting about it, they're young and they're athletic.
Jeff, four of the five guys on my list are African American quarterbacks, but we don't see them
Mm-hmm.
as that anymore. If this was 1987 when Doug Williams was leading the Washington Redskins to the Super Bowl, they would be black quarterbacks, but they're not. They're just exciting quarterbacks. They're stars of the NFL. The NFL has won at this position because we now look at these guys differently than we did 30 years ago, which is a great
Yeah,
thing.
I think the game has changed so significantly, and hopefully we've all as a society grown up now and recognized that it's not about. I mean, who cares what color your skin is? The bottom line, can you get your team in the end zone and win football games? That's what you're paid to do. And so I think that's a reflection of, number one, hopefully an improvement in our society, the way we look at things. Number two, the inclusion that the NFL has always striven for and given
Mm.
guys chances. There were in our life, and certainly in mine, I can remember back in the days of Jefferson Street, Joe Gillum, and some of the really talented black quarterbacks that couldn't seem to find an opportunity in the league, and then Doug kind of broke that barrier down, and it's just the change has really come now. The game has adapted now. It's hard to have an immobile guy back there. The defenses are so fast. They're so good at rushing the passer, and so I hate to say this. You guys, some of the guys like Troy Aikman, it'd be tough. I mean, Aikman would be a great player to this day. There's no question about it, but he can't do some of the things that Deshaun Watson can do, or certainly Patrick Mahomes can do, or any of those guys. And so you can't judge him against them because it was a different day and a different time and a different NFL.
Jeff, really quickly, we're out of time for this part, but we should mention the guy we've got number one on our list. Both got Patrick Mahomes. Was it clear for you? Is he that special?
Without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. And the Super Bowl proved it.